stop looking for answers in other people and miracles somewhere down the yellow brick road and click the heel to your mind. You could have been free years ago. You can get your mind out. You can get your money out. You can get your family out. You can get your job out. You can get your career out. You can get your health out. You can get your prosperity out. If you can get your mind out, no devil in hell, no weapon formed against you, no enemy that hates you, no witch that hates you can stop you from being free. If you can get your mind out, grab yourself by the hand and say, we're coming out of there. Tell them I'm coming out head first. I think that among the things that prevent us from acting is the fear of failure. And if you've already failed, you don't want to fail again. The pain of that, the disappointment. Many of us don't act because we want other people's approval. We want everybody to like us and to accept us. We're settling for less than what we actually deserve. We don't feel good about it, but we make it work in our minds. We'll come up with some kind of excuse to make it all right. Most people like to feel like they're a king in the area of their comfort zone. They only want to do those things that they know how to do well. So there are many reasons why we don't act. There are other things, though, that can affect us. Is that not wanting to take personal responsibility. We want somebody else to do it, and that's not possible. And when you go through life like that, something in you dies. You need to start asking yourself some questions. What do I really, really, truly want? Don't wait around for things to be just right. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Don't wait for the ideal situation. It will never be ideal. The greatest opportunity you have, it might not be here next year. It might not be here the year after next. It might not be here the year after that. This is the only moment you got. And what you will find that when you decide to act, when you decide to take life on, and let me warn you, it can be painful, it will be uncomfortable, and that's where the growth is. Never be satisfied with yourself. Always know that as you invest the effort and time on you, that's the greatest ability that human beings have above animals. See, a dog can't be anything but a dog. A tree can't be anything but a tree. Human being, you've got unlimited potential. You can put effort on you, and by concentrating on you and developing you, you can transform your life wherever you are right now. Many people will leave the universe without a trace. No one will know they were here. What will you leave? What will be different because you came this way? Listen to that still small voice within you. Don't try and make everything logical. There are some things about life that defies logic. See, there's some good out there for you in the universe that has your name on it, and nobody but your faith. It has your name on it. Faith can't take your stuff. It's your stuff. So when you know that whatever you're seeking, it's also seeking you. You don't worry. You don't run scared. You don't think somebody's going to take it from you. You've got to say yes. Yes to my dreams. Yes to me. Yes, I can make it. Yes, I can. You don't need anybody to approve your dream. It was given to you. If they can't see it, it's because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. You're going to get thrown to the ground again and again and again. But when you have determination and you know that what you're doing is right, it gives you your life, it gives a special meaning and power to you. I refuse to be denied. And I'm going to go all out. I'm going to be relentless. I don't care how many no's I encounter. Doesn't matter how many failures I've made. Doesn't matter how many mistakes I've endured. Doesn't matter about my defeats. Doesn't matter about what I've done. Yes. Yes. Yes, I can. I understand now you are attracted to greatness. Greatness is all in, but it's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, put in energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you have been doing the same thing. You at the same job. You experiencing the same things in your life. Nothing has changed. Everything about it is phenomenal, but you constantly average. You are average in school. You are average at your workplace. Like everything you do is average. And because you made a decision. You made a choice to be average. Why? Because the people around you are average. Or maybe you grew up in an average environment or went to an average school or you worked for an average company. So you decided to go against who you are. No one else feels sorry for you. Only you do. That's the type of mindset when people aren't successful in life. They sit there and they feel sorry for themselves and they want all this fucking sympathy from everybody else. Yet they're not willing to go out there and make shit happen for themselves. Because this is not for everyone. This is not for the faint at heart. This is for people who have goals and dreams they want to achieve. Everyone seems to think that this world, this government, somebody owes them something. Nobody owes you shit. If you want something, go out there and get it. Go out there and fucking take it. That's all there is to it. You could be great if you just showed up. Get in the game. Quit. Stop playing. You deserve to see what your life would look like if you gave 120%. You gotta run after your destiny. You gotta run after it. You gotta run after your destiny. 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 You gotta run after it. You gotta run because success is never an accident. And if you don't want it, get out of my way. Because there are some people who want to do something with their life who will run. Choice of behavior is either to give up. I want to ask, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe everybody else's judgment? This is your last day on the planet. I deserve to see what my life would look like if I gave 100%.
I would rather aim for the stars and not hit them than to not aim at all. I would rather go after it and not get it than not go after it at all. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. I don't want to live with the idea of wonder what would have happened had I done more with my life. I'm going to go for it, come hell or high water. I'm going after my destiny. You got to run after your destiny. You can't stroll after your destiny. You can't walk after your destiny. You got to run. Don't be ashamed. Run. If you just run after what's in front of you, you will escape what's behind you. Don't spend all your time trying to fix what's behind you because you'll never be able to fix what's behind you. You have to run after what's in front of you. I don't believe in the word procrastination. Like, I don't really believe in that word. I told a young lady in Australia, I said, look, if I told you to meet me here tomorrow at 5 a.m., I'm going to give you $3 million. Where would you be? He said, I'll be right there at 4:59, ready to get that $3 million. I said, so there's no such thing as procrastination.
Hi, bro. Good night.
Hey, good night, Miranda. Hey,
I'm not doing too bad. I'm all right.
all right, cool, great. Just let me know when to go to get started.
Let me just double see if everybody's on the call so we can. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Hey, good night, bro.
All right, bro. So I sent out the indicator, so we could just give them about 2 minutes to join up.
All right, no problem, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right, bro. Let's go now.
All right, cool, great. All right, pleasant good night, everyone. Thanks for everyone to coming out on the call. Um, I'll try to keep the call short tonight. Um, I'll go out on duty in the next 3 hours, but that is not a problem. So thanks for everyone again being on the call. Miranda had asked me to do this session on drawing up charts. So that's pretty much what we're going to get into tonight. Now, before gets before I get started, what I want to do is share a little bit about myself. Um, give you guys my brief testimony of being in this business for the past couple of months. So I'm 23 years of age.
If the song is very low, I can't hear you. I have headphones
Er,
on, I can't hear you. So,
Okay. You hear me better? Anthony Jr. Are you hearing me better now, bro?
a little louder, but it can't work for me. Hold on. Okay, let's continue talking. I'll see if there's a problem on my side.
All right, cool. Is everyone hearing me loud and clear? Just type 1 in the chat, please.
We're hearing you much better now. You're louder now.
All right, great, excellent, cool. So, thanks. Right. Um, I'm 23 years of age. Right. I'm a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, and I was first introduced to this business last year, November. I think it was a week before the anniversary of the organization being in Trinidad. And when I first heard of the opportunity, I was really excited because I was ambitious and really looking for something that I can do besides my full time job. In joining this opportunity, not knowing where this would lead me in the future, I jumped on board with one of my colleagues because he is the guy that introduced me on um to he introduced me to this opportunity through Denison Stone and Joshel Suktio. So I joined. I was really excited. Start studying the IML Academy, and it was like just around the end of November, and I was still in the academy, and I was telling everyone, you know how it is in December. The brokers go on holidays. We don't trade for the month of December. So, unfortunately, I was not able to actually start my live account in December. So what I did for that entire month of December, I continued to study the academy and look at the IML TV. Now, when January came around, um, I pretty much was still all over the place, not really finding where it is I wanted to be. I found myself being alone, right? Even though the organization um, pretty much has members that are there for you to get that support and help, the guy that brought me into the organization, right? His main focus was mainly to just bring in people into the business. He was really good at that. And after some months go by, I was still struggling, right? I was still struggling trying to get this trading thing down because that was my main focus, to be able to make money from just trading alone, right? That was my aim and that was my purpose when I joined. And all of a sudden, my upline left and I was left alone. Now, my upline was a P600. He had about 13 or 14 members in his organization. And when he left, that put a toll on the team, right? Everything started to fall apart. And I was left, I was the only one left out of everyone else. Upline gone, other um, members were gone. They weren't trading, they weren't sharing the opportunity. They don't want nothing to do with the business again. So I told myself that regardless to what, right? I was fed up of trying things and just quitting. So I made a decision to stick with what it is my goal was when I first started, which was to learn how to trade, because I was seeing a lot of people coming in and getting this trading thing off the bat, and I was still struggling. I don't know what it is I was doing until afterwards, but I persevered, and it's really good to see that how far I have come, right? I'm proud of myself. If no one is proud of me, but I know I'm proud of myself. Dean always, comment me, Kelvin, that testimony you have is very powerful. But reason why I want to share my testimony is that I don't know whoever is in whatever group you're in, right? But once you believe in yourself and you focus and you don't give up, you can have success, because there are people who are trading and making money, right? You may still be struggling, who knows, right? You may be an excellent trader, I don't know. But regardless of what, you're going to have obstacles that are going to come your way regardless. Stay focused and be consistent, trust the process. Because if I didn't um, trust the process and realize that, hey, this thing doesn't happen overnight, over a period of time, you'll only get better and better. If I didn't had that type of mindset, I and all too might have not been in the business today. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys really quick before I get into this quick session tonight. Now, guys, believe it or not, right? Believe it or not, the only thing you guys really need, and it's so funny, the only thing you guys really need to make money on this forex market or wherever chart you join up is this. You would never believe. Yeah, I'm recording. I'm recording. You guys will never believe that this one line here could make you money on the forex market. And it was, I think it was like around April, no, end of March this year. Um, I was really getting into Christopher Derrick's session, getting up early in the morning and looking at his sessions. And it's ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous to see that everyone else is, getting caught up in drawing all the trend line and Fibonacci and all the fancy indicators. And Christopher Derrick is just coming on your London session and doing this. All these nice lines. Yeah. Yeah. He's doing these kind of things. And he is catching trades. Now, simple support and resistance. My first session, like session to learn how to drop charts, I was attending a class with Joshel Suktio, who is an excellent trader, I must say. She is a bit tough. Sometimes I feel she's also in the military, but she has her shit down, to be honest, right? And my first session with her, I was learning all these stuff, and she always used to say, if you don't master the basics, you can never really move on to the advanced stuff. All the harmonics, all the Fibonacci, market geometry, all the patterns, all those fancy stuff. If you don't master the basics, you're gonna have a really hard time, right? Unless you use any Heikkanashi strategy. But we're not on Heikkanashi tonight. We're on just simply drawing up charts, right? So simple support and resistance. So what I normally do, right? What I normally do, I start on my daily time frame, right? I start on the daily time frame. I go to the daily the interval, and I look for markets that trending, right? Just as what we learn in the IML Academy, look for trending markets to trade because it's easier and you have a higher chance of being more profitable in those markets. And with the day time frame, right? Why it is I choose the day and not the week? Basically, um, it's less confusing. Sometimes you go onto the weekly time frame and it's kind of confusing. So yeah, it's kind of confusing. And the next thing is that you want to get a more precise entry when it comes to your trading because everybody is into seeing more blues than red. You want to be more positive than negative, right? People get really, really excited as soon as they enter a trade within 5 to 10 minutes or half an hour self. They're they're in profits. People love to see that, right? Unless you really have an excellent level of patience, right? So I like starting on the daily time frame, and what I do is first of all making sure I can identify the trend, right? And based off of the GBP JPY, right, we could clearly see that what is happening right here is that the market is trending down, right? Right? We have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, lower low, continuous lower highs and lower low, right? So we know that the market is trending down. So what I also look for is patterns, right? I could probably send you guys a pic on your WhatsApp after on some different patterns, but I like to look for patterns, right? And one of my favorite patterns love to look for is um the channel, right? Channel. I don't know why, but I just love to see the channel all the time, right? Don't have to be perfect once you put in the zone, right? So cool. I look for patterns, right? We know that the market is trending down. Look, I found my pattern here. Sometimes you may not see a pattern, right? Sometimes you may not see a pattern, but the important thing is that you are seeing those levels of support and resistance on your trend line, all right? So we can see this area here, this trend line, this support is really, really strong. Why? Is because it has been tested as a ceiling and as a floor, right? So this is a strong area, right? Also to the top, we are seeing it testing as a ceiling, right? Next, next thing I want to look for is area my last two areas of support and resistance. One support and one resistance. Because even though we're on a bigger time frame and we have all these information here, this area here, let me just use this box really quick. This area right here in red is all the information that we really concerned about, right? What price is going to do next, right? That is really the information that we really care about. But we want to have a bigger view of what the market has been doing in general in the past, so we can probably see what it could do in the future, right? Now, off the bat, if you're really experienced, um, you can see this being an inverted head and shoulder right here, right? It looking like an inverted head and shoulder. So, anyhow, support and resistance, right? So the first thing, I start on my daily time frame, right? I check to see if the market is trending down on or up, because I trade either uptrends or downtrends. Consolidation, I try my best to stay away from, right? Especially on bigger time frames. Well, yeah, regardless. So only trending markets I trade. So daily time frame, is the market trending? Yes. Right. What is there any pattern visible? Yeah, I'm seeing, based on my eyes, I'm seeing a channel. Right? Cool. Next, I look for one area of support and one area of resistance. Now, this area of support and this area of resistance here, right? I'm not gonna look for any more areas because these two are the last two important areas. This impulsive move to the upside here is a very important. This is the area that we are concerned about, right? This is the area that we are concerned about. From the daily chart, I go to my 4-hour time frame, right? On the 4-hour time frame now, we look and see what is the market doing, right? We ask ourselves the same types of question. Is the market trending? Yes, right? Yes. You can see this is an uptrend. We have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, and we have a higher high. Now, the next thing we should look forward and seeing is a higher low, right? Now, if price breaks this level here, breaks this level here, more than likely, this market is going to continue going in the direction it is going once market breaks this level, because this is an important level, right? This is a level of support that has been also tested as an area of resistance, right? Multiple touches on this level here. If I use my rectangular box, multiple data points, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on, right? So this is the 4-hour time frame, right? From here, I'm going to ask myself again, is there a trend line, right? Yes, it is, right? So we have a trend line. Market test here, came off this area, broke this zone, right? Which once was an area of resistance, which once was a ceiling, and the ceiling then became a floor, right? Tested as a ceiling, it dropped, it broke the ceiling and tested as a floor, right? Support and resistance, support and resistance. So looking at this information here now, right? Seeing what the market has done in the past, it went up, it tested this trend line again, and it tested within the zone, right? So we have price reversal zone, support and resistance, and the trend line, right? So we are seeing the market is pushing down. Look at these types of candlesticks that you are seeing. This is momentum. This is a push, right? This is a push to the downside. So the next area that I would look at would be here. Why I would look at this area? Why would I look at this area? No, reason why I would look at this area is because this area here has not been tested on a 4-hour time frame as an area of support, right? That is what I look for all the time. Support, resistance, resistance, support. That is exactly what they taught us in the IML Academy, right? But all it takes is patience, guys. Patient. Being patient. So there is a possibility, right? There is a possibility that the market could come all the way down here and test this level as an area of support and push to the upside to continue an uptrend, right? There is a possibility. If you want a more accurate entry, the bigger the time frame, yeah, your entry doesn't be more, your entry isn't that accurate compared to if you're going to smaller time frames. So if you go to an hour, right, and you're looking for an entry to enter the market within a couple of hours, I would recommend you look at the 1 hour time frame, right? I love the 4 hour time frame for confirmation, but sometimes that could be a bit too long. So you might want to try the hour time frame, right? Trading is about whatever makes you comfortable doing, right? You're doing the right thing, but making sure you are comfortable with that, right? So I will look at this area right here. We have an area of support. And we have an area of resistance right here. So for the more seasoned people, we can see off the bat that this is consolidation here, right? You're not really seeing any higher highs or higher lows really happening per se on this time frame, the 1 hour time frame, right? So this is basically consolidation. Now, in consolidation, what we look for before an entry is that breakout. Now, you can have a breakout or a fake out, right? Now, how I would know the difference between a breakout and a fake out is, let me just join these zones here so you guys can see. All right. Now, the market could break out on either side, right? Again, we don't have crystal balls. We don't know what the market is going to do next, right? We can only react. We can only react. So the market could break to the upside and continue moving up, or it could break to the downside and continue moving down, right? So what Christopher Derrick likes to do is look at both sides, right? Looking at both sides. So we have an area of consolidation taking place here, and we have a level of resistance and a level of support. So if price was to break to the upside before entering the trade, this ceiling must become a floor, right? He only enters the trade once this ceiling is broken and then becomes a floor. And the market continues in this direction, right? Now, guys, with this strategy, I've tested it for myself, right? It does work, but you have to stick by his rules when using this strategy. And his rules are, once you are 10 to 15 pips in profit, you must move that stop loss, that 30 pips stop loss, 2 pips above or below your entry, depending on if it's a buy or a sell. Now, the reason being he do that is because if the market does decide to turn around, you are safeguarded, right? You are safe. You are safe. Cool. So he looks at both sides. Both the upside and the downside, right? And he only enters the trade once the market retests. He waits for that retest and then enters the trade. Applies his 30 pip stop loss, right? And he do not place take profit. Now you could put take profit if you so desire, right? It's solely up to you, right? Now sometimes you put a 20 pips take profit, and let's say you have a take profit over here, and boom, hey, TP1 is hit. Great. That's cool, right? Nothing's wrong with that, right? But let's say if this was news, a red folder news, and this market shoot all the way up, right? And just continued going, you could have lost out on all that profit going up there, right? So it's solely up to you if you like using take profit using this strategy, right? Do like the Chinese, eat little, live long, right? Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. In fact, what he do is twin trade. So once he has a trade, one of his position is 20 to 30 pips in profit. He closes that trade out and leaves the next one with that 2 pip stop profit. Right? That 2 pip stop profit. Right? So let's say here was 30 pips. You'll move your stop loss two 2 pips above your entry. Cool. And you leave your trade. Right? You monitor your trade ever so often. Right? And you apply your trailing stop as you go into profits. Now, this also, everything in trading is patience. I realize that is something you just can't run away from. You just have to have patience and waiting for that right entry and that right setup. Now, everything must go together with your personal trading plan, right? I have shown you guys the Heikanashi, right? And there are strict rules to using Heikanashi. If you don't do the follow the rules, you know the consequences of that. There's a possibility that you can have major losses, right? So creating a trading plan to go along with your strategy, whatever strategy you like, or you you're trying to make up a new strategy or whatever works for you, once it goes along with your trading plan, right? Stick with it. Don't don't break the rules. Don't break your rules. Because here's what. Anytime you break your rule, right, there is a possibility that you can end up in losses. You just break one rule, right? If you just break one rule, you could end up in losses, right? So guys, this is basically it in terms of drawing up chart, right? You don't really need all the fancy stuff. Keep it simple. Christopher Terry says that. Keep it simple. That's the motto he moves by. Keep it simple, right? Once you master your support and resistance and and you're able to identify an uptrending market or a downtrending market, areas of consolidation, you know what a trend line is, and you know what a pullback and a retest is, right? You wait for the retest, or based on whatever your strategy is, right? You could be profitable. But the key to trading, guys, is patience and having discipline when it comes to your trading plan, right? Discipline. So I'll be looking at this trade, GBP JPY, right? I'll be looking at this trade. So let's look at a next chart, right? USD card, and I'll give you guys an example using the Heikanashi. What could happen if you don't follow the rules? Because I have tested it, tried all kind of fancy stuff, and I get burned. I get burned a lot of times. All right. So I want to look for that right example here. Okay, cool. All right. So let's yeah. All right. So let's say, for example, right? We we enter the trade, we in profits. Cool. And we exit the trade when this yellow, which is the third period, crosses the red, the blue 9 period. Right? We exit the trade. Now let's say we were watching the market before. Let me just get rid of this guy here. Right? Let's say we were watching only the the blue and the yellow moving average, right? Now, I don't know if anyone ever saw it, right? But this is also another area you can enter. Your same exit point can also be an area you can enter the trade. Now, with entering the trade at here,
Kelvin, I noticed that this week, the third and the ninth, whenever they cross, the
yes,
yeah, I noticed
right,
that this.
right, great. So you're very observant, right? Good. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are sometimes with this cross, you could end up in losses, right? Here's why. The market could give you that retracement instead of the push to the upside. So normally if you see this cross, once you see the yellow crosses the blue, you can enter a buy, right? But it can either be a pullback, the market could pull back, or it could go into your favor and continue moving up. Now let me add back the 50 period. I'm going to add back the 50 period. So let's say we exited the trade here. All right, we exited this trade here because we see the market pushing back up to the upside. We're not too sure if it's going to pull back or it's going to continue moving up. All right. So you enter here thinking it's going to buy. All right. Market does this, and you are seeing it pushing to this 50 level here. So now you probably telling yourself, wow, this is going to buy. And then the market close below this 50 level here and continues to go down. Right? All because you didn't follow the rules. Right? That is why there's strict rules to each strategy. Right? Strict rules. So, like for example, here, if you had done that here, wow, you're lucky, you get through. Because look at how much pips, right? Let's check from here. Let's say you enter the market here, right? This is about what? 222 pips. All right. Now let's say you had entered from here, where the yellow crosses the blue. All right. Come on. Cool. That's a whole 50 something pips. Whole 50 something pips. You could have before the original entry. right? But is either two things. You can risk doing this or play the safe game, right? I play the safe game. I've been burned too much to know that I don't know what the market is going to do next. I do not know what the market is going to do next. But I do know once I follow my plan, right? Everything's lining up and I enter, everything's supposed to be okay once I stick to my rules. Right, guys? So again, back to GBP JPY. Strict rules. The strict rules are areas of consolidation. Market breaks either the level of resistance and become a area of support, get that nice retest, then we enter the trade for the buy. If it breaks below and retests, right, we enter for the sell. It's that simple, right? Apply your 2 pip stop profit once you're 10 to 15 pips, 10 to 15 pips in profit, right? 30, 20 to 30 pips in profit. You close off one of your positions, right? If you're twin trading, and you allow the trade to run, right? Isn't trading, guys, not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be stressful, right? And so I caught myself in the beginning, um, a lot of times trying to complicate things when things are really made simple once you follow the guidelines to everything. So simple support and resistance. I have a group on Facebook, a Facebook group. It's called Team Dominance. Um, some of my prior setups that I have done was based off of just support and resistance. And you can see like during the week, 100 pips captured based off applying the same exact method. Waiting for the breakout on either side, retest, enter the market, boom, in profit, right? The aim of the game, minimize your losses. We all want to be just profitable, right? You just want to be profitable. Yes, you will have times you're going to lose, but we want to minimize that loss and we want to have better gains. Always, your gains must always overpower your losses, or you'll just be like spinning it up in mud, as the trainers say, right? You win 30 pips, you lost 30 pips. You win 30 pips, you lost 30 pips. You'll just be back and forth. You're just gonna be tiring out yourself. Right, guys? So as I said, I wanted to keep this session short. I do have to go to work. Right? So I hope you guys saw value.
Bro, sorry.
Yeah,
One question. With
yeah,
this strategy that you have up now, right?
yeah.
That is that using the Haikanashi candle or that's just using the regular candle?
Using regular Japanese candlesticks. Right? Regular
Okay,
Japanese
cool.
candlestick. Now the Haikanashi, right? Reason why I use the Haikanashi is because it really smooths out the trade. As you can see how everything looks broken up here with red and blue, and sometimes you could get confused. Now when you use the Haikanashi, right, you see everything smooth. Everything smooth. More smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I use the Haikanashi. But if using this, I recommend normal Japanese candlestick.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So So guys, thanks for being on the call. Um, anyone have any questions? This is just how I do things, right, guys? You may have your methods of doing things, but this isn't just me sharing how I do things. I try to keep everything simple that people could, understand. Nothing hard, right? Just requires discipline and patience, right? Discipline and patience. So I'm guessing there's no questions. Or something I wanted to address from last week's session, um, that Malika had pointed out to me, something that I missed out, right? And that was relating to the RSI. Now she was asking why it is I place this 50 line onto the RSI. Right. Now, reason why I did that was because I found that sometimes, right? Sometimes that the the period on the RSI could fall below the 60 level, right? And sometimes on the this meaning the sell here, right? Once it in this area, it's oversold, so we look to buy, right? Once it in this area, is known as overbought, so we're looking for a sell, right? That is how I do things. So what I was explaining to her is that sometimes it could fall in between when you're trying to line up the the candlestick, the Heikanashi candlestick, right? And the RSI. It could fall in between. So what I decided to do, I said, I tested it out first, right? I tried it. I just try real madness. I being real with you guys. I just try a lot of new stuff, and with trying new stuff, you gotta learn new things, right? So I placed this 50 line here, and it worked on numerous times, but most of the times you get it either in the oversold area or in the over bought area, right? So once it falls below the 50 line, I consider it as also being overbought, right? Once it fall below, right, I consider it part of the 40 area, right? Well, once it falls above the 50, I consider it also part of the 60 area. I think I had mentioned this in the first session with the Haikanashi, but I just wanted to share that for those who missed it out, right? So don't be afraid if sometimes you see it falls just below the 60 line, right? Just below. That is okay. Right? Once it doesn't fall below, right? For this oversold area here, you're good to go. Right? So no questions.
No, but so far, bro, I grasp everything that you did, and just want to say really thanks very much for taking the time out to show us what you do.
Yeah, no problem, Miranda. It's not a problem. I really appreciate the work that you are also doing too with the guys in Karaku. It takes a lot to step up to the plate, all right? And you're going to be a great leader. You are already showing that you are a great leader in Karaku, that team in Grenada. So looking forward to one day coming across with you guys and celebrating. So thanks again for the opportunity. And thank everyone on the call, in fact, for the support, coming out on the call, regardless of what, if you know what is sharing or not. Right? So yeah. So guys, that is it for tonight. I said I would try to keep it short and simple. All right. So this is recorded. I will get it to you guys in the morning. So yeah, look out for that.
All right, bro. Thank you very much, and have yourself a blessed night.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the info.
No
Yeah,
problem,
thanks.
guys. Yeah.
Yes, bro, that was awesome.
You're welcome, bro.